Hi, I'm Jay, escobarj.com. This video is how relationships change over time. And if you haven't watched the first three videos that I've done on this topic, go ahead and check the description. I'm going to put the links to those videos there into the description. Today, if you have watched the first three, today we're going to talk about new hobbies and interests. That's another way that relationships change over time. And the thing with relationships is that as they develop and grow, as you develop and grow as a person and as you develop and grow as a couple, you're naturally going to find new interests to do together, but also you're going to find new interests to do separately. There's going to be things that your partner doesn't want to do with you that you may really enjoy, and vice versa. There's going to be things that your partner wants to do or does without you that you may not really have much interest in. But the key is that, well, I'm going to get to that in a second. What I first want to say is that if you find something that your partner is not interested in, doesn't mean that you should necessarily force that hobby or interest onto your partner, especially at first, or especially if you want them to do something or you want them to do it with you. You need to give them the time and space away from you. You need to give them positive encouragement. Like at first, see if they're interested in maybe learning or participating in whatever it is that you're doing. And if it's something that you'd like to do together, then great. However, again, don't try and force the issue. Don't try and force your partner to do something that they may or may not want to do. Instead of that, what you should do is do the hobby or interest that you have and do it anyway. And give your partner the gift of missing you, like I talked about in my second video on this topic, more time alone. And I kind of go more in depth on that area. But the key is the thing is as you naturally grow as an individual, you're going to be evolving, and your interests and hobbies and the things you do are going to change over time. You're going to like new things. You're going to want to try new things, and you may find things that you really fancy that maybe your partner doesn't. And it's the same thing in a relationship. I mean, you as a couple, you're going to find new things to do together, and you'll find new people, new hobbies and new interests that you'll want to do all the time together. And it's important that if your partner develops a new hobby or interest that you may not want to do, or you may not want to participate in, is you need to first give them the time and space away from you, and give them the space to develop that hobby or pursue that hobby or interest, especially at first. Because especially when something's new and you don't want to do it, you should encourage them to go do it. Because sometimes in relationships, especially depending on what kind of relationship you have, one partner will suggest, hey, I want to try this, and if you shoot it down, then they will kind of not necessarily play the martyr card, but they'll kind of just let it go, and they may not pursue it. But what you should do is encourage them to do it anyway. Even if you don't want to do it, you can be like, what, that's not really my cup of tea, but if you want to go do that, I think you should go do that. And even I would argue, if you're a man and if you're in a relationship with a woman, maybe even take responsibility for that and plan it for her, plan it for your woman, right? And because a lot of times women you tell them, you'll encourage them to go do it, and they'll say maybe okay or whatever, but it kind of just gets swept under the rug and it never happens. So to show that you actually support your partner, maybe take responsibility for it and schedule a time for them to go do it and plan it out for them so that they can go experience it, even if you don't want to do it, right? And that way your partner feels like they are being loved in a way that they are able to be free instead of, being dictated by your opinion all the time. And the thing is, the other part to this is, let's say that your partner finds something that they do really like and enjoy, and they do it all the time, right? And they're like, they're giving you the gift of missing them, right? And if that's happening to you, then you should compromise. Like you should, and I'm not saying 100% of the time, like, oh, just start going to do what they are doing, those hobby or interests all the time, and just like be like a weak bowl of jello and just conform to whatever it is they're doing. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's okay to do things in a relationship that you don't necessarily want to do. That's part of being in a relationship. It's a natural part of being in a relationship. So you should be compromising with your partner and doing things that you may not want to do all the time. Like if your spouse wants to go to the opera or go to the ballet or, go see a movie that you don't necessarily want to see, it's okay to compromise a little bit and just go do that with her or your partner. Um, and again, it doesn't have to be all the time. You don't need to like suck up, right? It's just, you got to find that right balance. That's the key, is you got to find the balance of, I want to spend time. Like, I genuinely want to just spend time with my partner because I love spending time with this person. It doesn't really matter what activity it is. Yeah, that activity that they really enjoy, I think is really stupid and I don't really enjoy it. I don't like it. But you know what? I do like being with my partner. I do like hanging out with them, and they're a big part of my life, and I want to support them, and I want to show them my support by doing something that I may not want to do. And if they actually truly know that you don't want to do it, it just speaks more volumes to your relationship, and it'll allow each of you to really cherish each other more and allow each other to grow more, because the purpose of relationships is you go there to give, right? You go there to give. You don't go to relationship to take. You go to relationship to give. And sometimes you need to give in a way that you may or may not like, at times. And it's the same thing with like sex. There's going to be times where you don't want it to have sex and your partner does. And, to be a good partner, and I'm not saying you do it every time. You got to find the right balance. It's finding the key of giving them the space to feel free in the relationship, and to give them the gift of missing you, and them giving you the gift of missing them, but also the compromise factor of, hey, I just really want to spend time with this person. And you have to kind of just keep track of it mentally. So if you enjoyed this topic, make sure to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell icon so you never miss any time I release or post a video. You can also, if you want to book a coaching session, if you'd like to get a hold of me, the quickest way is to book a coaching session. You can do that on my website at escobarj.com. And if you'd like to make a donation, you can donate any amount of money that you feel is worth the value of the information in this video or any of my other videos for that matter. And at the very least, do me a favor and share this with any of your friends and family on any social media platform. Hit the share button and just post it. That would do me a big favor. That's my purpose, is to help as many people as I possibly can self-actualize, grow, become better individuals, and achieve the best versions of themselves. Other than that, hope you're always learning, always growing, and always pushing forward. And I will see you in the next video. Take care.